Yeah, in a parallel universe with it's called that girl, man. I mean, go in.
Alright, so back with another one today. Parallel Universe featuring Shing02 was a track off my second album called Shoshin, which was released in 2010. And this is kind of the precursor to pretty much my career as it is now. And I say that because of the fact that one of the tracks from it, Lovesick Part 3 remix that I did, was basically what got Shing02's attention. And at that time, I believe I was still in high school or just graduated, 2009. It kind of created an opportunity for me to go to Japan. So he reached out on YouTube when I released the track, and he contacted me, and I didn't know if it was actually him or if it was just somebody who ran his page at the time. But I was already a big fan, had been for a long time. And when he contacted me, he asked me what I was doing on this certain day. He said he was going to be in Seattle soon. So, we ended up linking up, and I went to a show with him in Seattle at the Crocodile to go see Amy Meyer perform. And I was still underage at that time. I think I was like 19, 18. So they weren't supposed to let me into the club, but Shingo did some Jedi mind tricks on him, and he got me backstage. And after that, we had kind of been talking about the concept of, doing a song. So the next day we went back to my spot to record, which was actually my parents' house at the time, in a closet in my brother's old room. And we recorded, we sat for a while and listened to a bunch of different beats. We actually made a beat together that day that has never been released. We ended up settling on the beat for Parallel Universe, and Shingo, I remember, sat down on the floor and wrote the whole song in maybe like 2 hours. And then we recorded it. And at the time, I had actually just won the Red Bull Big Tune beat battle in Seattle. And a lot of the beats that I had on, like in my folder that we were going through were more beat battle based beats. And they were a lot harder than the stuff that I'd ever heard him over. Of course, Shingo has he has a huge back catalog and very talented MC, can rap over pretty much anything. But when I played Parallel Universe, that was the one that I, at the time, was like, if Shingo was on this, I think a lot of people would love it. And it had the melody and like the mellow soul vibe to it. So I tried to, convince him to do a song over that one, and we ended up using that track. And after that, we kind of added some sound effects and things like that. Shingo sent me a bunch of stuff to add into the track and mixed it. And I think at that time when he came to record the track, he had his laptop with him while he was writing Parallel Universe. He asked me if I wanted to hear Lovesick, the new Lovesicks, and I was like, I didn't know that there were any new Lovesicks. And this was right after Nujabes had passed away, so this was July 2010, and the Eternal Soul tribute was scheduled for August 2010, and I had been invited to go to Japan in August for the tribute, and also to record Greater Purpose with Cy Star. So that was what was on the agenda, but when Shingo came to record the song, and after he had heard Lovesick Part 3 remix and everything, he asked me if I would be interested in DJing for him at the Eternal Soul tribute, and then also at HMV Shibuya for an in-store that he had before the event. So I actually ended up being able to DJ for him at HMV. He played Parallel Universe, which is really cool. Added that into his set. And this is also where he performed Lovesick Part 4 for the first time. So back to when we were recording Parallel Universe, I remember him pulling out his laptop and telling me that he had Lovesick Part 4, 5, and 6, the beats for him. And he played them for me. And I heard Part 4, and Part 4 was probably, and still is, probably my favorite out of like the second 3 parts. I think Lovesick Part 2 is probably my favorite one altogether, but 4 out of the last 3 holds a special place in my heart because of the fact that he played that one for me. And as soon as I heard it, I loved the sample and just the overall vibe of it. So that was, he had just passed away. Nujabes had just passed away. Maybe, I think it was 4 months before that, 3 months. And I remember when I had found out, like, it was very, it's pretty soul crushing because there was somebody that I looked up to immensely. And the world just kind of stopped for me on that day. When I remember calling Substantial and asking him if he knew about it, and he hadn't heard about it yet at the time. So it was heavy, but I was able to go and perform at the tribute thanks to Shingo, and also be part of that event, which was legendary and set the stage for a decade more of these events every year. And the actual video on YouTube where the Lovesick Part 4, 5, or actually just Lovesick Part 4 is played for the first time, that was actually my footage from like the Handycam video. So that was really special for me too. So just, long story short, a lot of things added up to the making of Parallel Universe, but there are also other things that were happening in tandem with that were very important to the overall history of Nujabes' posthumous releases and his legacy at that time. So yeah, Parallel Universe was just a really meaningful song to me. So I'm happy that I get to show you guys how I made the beat and how it all came together. So stick around and I will get into the nitty-gritty of making the beat and everything else. Alright, so just as always, we got the sample and the drums and the bass. I played a piano part on this using the Phantom X, which I got in high school. Used that to play the piano solo on it that you can hear after the first verse, I think. The sample. Sample chops, obviously. The kick. See what this one is. The kick is Alk Kick 49, Mob Kick 47, Mob Kick 28. It's a lot of Alchemist, Mob Deep kicks. Snare. Quite a few different layered snares. You got some G-Unit snares in there. Rim shot, baby snare, hot snare. All kinds of stuff. A little bit of a rim shot right there. Hi-hat. 3 different hi-hats, all Mob Deep hats. Or, I mean, it says they're Mob Deep hats. You never really know. The bass I don't think is going to play because this is from like an old VST Contact Player 2. Super old. But we can kind of sub it in here for like maybe a sub bass or something. So I'm going to sub that in. Basically just I'm going to put trillion. in here. If I can find it. There it is. Yeah, this is obviously isn't going to be what it sounded like, but we're just going to throw a random bass in there. Good enough. Okay, so we got the bass in there. The bass goes like this. Super simple. I mean, it's probably like my second or third year into making beats, so keeping it simple. I mean, I still think it's sometimes better to keep it simple, but the sample was definitely pulling a lot of the weight. Crash. Got a shaker in here though. I used to use shakers quite a bit. And we got a ride cymbal too. And then a shaker loop too. Percussion, I think. No, that's the tambourine. We definitely have a shaker loop in there somewhere. And then sample chops. And piano, I'm actually gonna, I know this definitely won't play because I don't have the piano anymore. Unless it's here. Piano comp. I mean, so this beat was made in like 2010. Yeah. So we'll see if it even plays. That, nah, I don't know. I don't think that's. I don't think that's it. So. Piano solo? Is that the, okay, this is the piano solo. So let's just add, like I said before, like we did before, let's add let's just do keyscape. Add a piano in there. And luckily I saved the MIDI from there. And just throw it in there. So this is the piano solo. I don't know if that's even. Nope. But that is, you can hear the piano comping in there, but I took the solo out actually. There's like a different solo, I don't know where it's at, but anyways. Got some toms in there. Gundam sound effects. Got two of those. Shing02 is the main. So then went to the second verse, filtered it out. It's pretty filtered. lot more moving parts in this than some other beats, but we kind of simplified, got everything kind of like thick in the mix and made it come out sounding pretty smooth, even though there's a lot of different elements. So that is the gist of the beat. I think there's a lot, the bass here is a little more complex. Of course, wind chimes. I loved wind chimes back then. Used it in everything. Mix is a little bit better on this one, as you can tell, compared to Don't Hold Your Breath. The original version, like the original mix before it got, sent out for mixing and mastering. Yeah. Did the mix quite a few times on this one and got it sounding good by the end. So a funny story about one of the lyrics in Parallel Universe. Like I said before, when we were, the day of recording the song, we were in Seattle on Capitol Hill at Cafe Vita, and we were watching the US versus Japan soccer game, and one of the players missed like a PK or just a regular goal. And when we went to go record the song, Shingo put that first lyric in the song where he says, in the opening verse, "In a parallel universe would have scored that goal in the back of the net." So I always thought it was cool that he took from what we were doing that day and then kind of immortalized it in that song, because it's something that I'll always remember about that day. So I always thought that was pretty cool. So initially when I uploaded the Lovesick Part 3 remix to YouTube, like I said before, Shingo found it and contacted me about the beat and also about linking up when he came to Seattle. But after that, Hideout themselves actually put a strike on my channel for using copywritten material, because I used Shingo's acapella over the beat and uploaded it. So it's kind of good in a way, because even though it might have pissed off the people in Hideout, or that it was just something that they didn't want me to have up, I was able to get in contact with Shingo that way, which actually ended up leading to me becoming on better terms with the people who were running Hideout at the time, like Takumi, and was able to eventually release Melancholy Hopeful through Tribe and Hideout because of that. So I think there's a lesson to be learned there, where not everything, sometimes it's better to beg for forgiveness than ask permission, because at that time I didn't really know that they would have a problem with me uploading Lovesick and the vocals. I didn't know who owned the vocals. I didn't know if it was theirs or whatever, but I was just, I was young doing my thing. So I am lucky though that Shingo found it first and then contacted me. And because of that, I was able to go perform at the Eternal Soul tribute in 2010, where I met all kinds of people. And basically that's what kind of jump-started my whole career in this scene. And, I think that if I hadn't done that, Shingo may not have been able to, I probably wouldn't have been on his radar at the time, and then a lot of things wouldn't have fallen into place. So there's definitely a parallel universe out there where I'm not in the same place that I'm in right now because of that decision. So take a chance, is my advice. And yeah, thanks again for watching this Making of the Beat. It's Parallel Universe featuring Shing02 off of Shoshin, which dropped in 2010. It's on Spotify, it's on Bandcamp, there's CDs of it. Go check it out, and thank you all for watching again. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you want to see next, what beat making video of what track you want to see. If you have any questions, production tips you want to see me go over, feel free to drop it there, and I'll catch you all next time. All right, peace.
Picture this, a natural bliss. Raise your arms now, open your fists. Make a wish, you don't need a new TV to see things in 3D. Imagine this, a natural bliss. A pop quiz, make a wish. Eyes closed, show teeth from ear to ear. Teleporting the flash from here to there. Eyes closed, show teeth from ear to ear. Yeah, in a parallel universe, I'm